everyone to the second edition of Hops and Horror. We got Bo Cooper and Robert Novelli.
Tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about a movie known as Night of the Creeps, 1986. This movie has a bundle of different types of genres all rolled into one. You got sci-fi, you got horror, and you got campy 80s goodness. And I'll tell you one thing, once I saw this movie at a young age, I never looked back. I thought this was one of the most iconic 80s films of all time. Would you agree?
I would agree. Elvira would agree. I remember growing up watching Elvira, doing commentary, in between commercials and stuff for a lot of 80s films and a lot of classic horror films.
Absolutely.
And I remember watching Elvira one night, and she said one of her favorite films was Night of the Creeps. And when she said that, I knew I had to see it.
Well, you can't argue with that. Starring Tom Atkins, one of the best actors, one of my favorite actors. Starring Jason Lively, Jill Wilworth. What's one of the most iconic catchphrases in this movie, would you say?
I think that there's many iconic catchphrases in this film, but if you're going to pick one, it has to be, the good news is your dates are here, the bad news is they're dead.
I love that line. I'd also say thrill me is up
Thrill
there.
me, yeah.
Thrill me. Thrill me. But yeah, guys, this movie, if you've never checked it out, please do so. 1986, you can't go wrong. Night of the Creeps. It has some of the most bizarre special effects I've ever seen. You got dogs, little puppies spitting out slugs. You got flamethrowers blasting zombies in the head. Their heads are splitting open, and there's just slime and slugs and blood and guts everywhere.
Yeah, and I have to say, to this film and to many of the 80s genre of horror, one thing that modern day horror I think is missing is the special effects. The modern day special effects, they have green screen, stuff like that. It looks like a computer, a video game or something. And I think that the art of special effects is something that is slowly disappearing. It's refreshing when you watch these 80s movies to see the special effects and see how they do. That's one of the things as a kid watching all these, these movies and stuff, is wondering, hey, how do they do that?
Right.
How do they make that stuff work?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely it's mind-blowing, literally. It also has a great 80s soundtrack, as you can hear in the background. I have no idea who's singing this, so we don't own the copyrights to this music, but I will let you know it has a great 80s soundtrack as well. Night of the Creeps, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of our favorites. Check it out. Make sure you watch it on a Saturday night, late at night. Get that real campy 80s vibe going, and I guarantee you'll enjoy yourselves. So, our second part of of our weekly reviews here, we will be talking about our weekly beer that we're going to be tasting. What do we got in front of us, Rob? Because I'm going to let you bust that out.
Tonight we got Fundamental Observation by Bottle Logic.
What is it called?
Fundamental Observation.
Fundamental Observation, and it's by Bottle Logic, one of the best breweries out there, guys.
Absolutely.
Shout out to you guys if you're listening. Cheers.
This beer right here, started in 2015, was voted the best beer in the United States of 2015.
Wow.
Great beer. It's bourbon barrel aged for 1 year with Madagascar vanilla beans. It's about 13.5%. Really great beer. It goes on sale once a year. If you can get a bottle, get it. Just fundamental.
Let's try it, baby. Cheers to this.
Cheers to this.
Cheers to Night of the Creeps.
Cheers to Elvira.
Cheers to Elvira. Cheers to you horror fans watching us every Wednesday night here at Hops and Horror on our IGTV. Please hit the follow button, show some love in the comments, and we'll see you next week. Cheers, guys. Be safe.
Cheers.